in high definition. Coverage you can count on. This is WTVM News Leader 9.
It's round 2 for the South. Tornadoes continue to rip through the nation's bottom half, raising the death toll and the amount of damage left behind. Tonight we'll take you through the affected areas. Good evening and welcome to coverage you can count on at 5:30. I'm Shore Renee. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. The chaos continues tonight as a new round of deadly tornadoes rips through the South, reducing neighborhoods to rubble. At least 35 people are dead. People in Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia all realizing what happened as the cleanup effort begins. Right now, Georgia Power is estimating 82 people without power in Muskogee County. Alabama Power reports 1,000 people without electricity in Salem and another 1,000 in Seal and Smith Station at last check before the newscast. Sunlin Sarfati has a roundup of the destruction across the Southeast in our top story.
There's cars that have been tossed.
Portions of the South are bracing for yet another round of severe weather.
Well, Chief Meteorologist Derek Kincaid joins us now. And Derek, the storm hit hard and fast this morning, waking us all up across the valley. Is the worst all over? Do we need to prepare for another round?
Well, that was round 1, what we had this morning that caused all the damage. Round 2 is what we're kind of tracking now. There's tornado watches to our north and to our west, and those storms will be tracking in our direction. There is more uncertainty, though, with this round of severe weather, so perhaps not quite as bad. But, of course, it only takes one storm to be a big deal for you, and the folks in Salem and Smith Station can attest to that today. Many areas did not have severe weather across the valley today, but it only takes one storm.
That's right. Now, the damage in East Alabama is still being labeled as a possible tornado. Why can't we call it that right now?
Well, by all accounts, there likely very much was a tornado in Lee County, based on radar data, based on some of the assessment that I've done of the damage so far. But to make that official, our friends at the National Weather Service come down. They look at the path, they judge the wind speed, the kind of damage, how wide the path was, how long the path was, and they make the official designation. That's right. So that's why we have to keep saying possible tornado or likely tornado, but by all accounts, it probably was a tornado. Yeah.
Especially for those people whose houses were hit. They're thinking, well, what really was it?
Absolutely. And, you know, we're watching things closely tonight because back to our north and west, here's where we're looking at new tornado watches for Alabama and Mississippi, similar to yesterday.
With all the severe weather going on, it's important to stay connected. News Leader 9 has several ways to keep you updated on what's happening right now in your area. There is the WTVM mobile app where you can find all of the day's top stories, including weather information. The Storm Team 9 weather app is especially good right now in case your power goes out. You can actually hear our weathercast on your phone. Also, you can stay connected on Facebook and Twitter by following WTVM. We are also posting and tweeting the latest information there. The early morning storms have left people without homes in one Lee County community. News Leader 9's Annie Hubble kicks off our team coverage of severe weather. She explains how they are coping and banding together to find relief.
82-year-old Willie Trevin walks through what is left of his home on Lee Road 205 after a suspected tornado touched down around 5 o'clock this morning near Smith Station. Now a community pulls together in the aftermath to help clean up what Mother Nature has left behind.
Now, even with all this devastation, this community has really banded together to help each other out. We were here earlier. 2 people pulled up and said, hey, we just bought chainsaws. Where do you need us? It really is amazing. Now, as Derek said, we are expecting some more severe weather later tonight. So please take precaution because, as you can see behind me, the threat is real. Reporting live in Lee County, Annie Hubble, WTVM News Leader 9.
All right. Thanks, Annie. We're continuing team coverage in the East Alabama area. News Leader 9's Brittany Dion is in Salem where cleanup has begun. Brittany, you spoke with one woman who says she credits technology for saving her life.
Absolutely, Cheryl. This is the part of the roof of that house you see right there with the roof completely missing. If you take a look at that house, believe it or not, it used to have a carport there. I spoke with the woman that lived in that home. She says she was home alone with just her pets when her cell phone started blaring with the severe weather alert. But right now we're thinking it's going to be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. For now, I'm live in Salem. Brittany Dion, WTVM News Leader 9.
All right, thank you, Brittany. More than a dozen mobile homes in the area along Highway 169 are in pieces tonight after strong winds ripped through Salem and Crawford, Alabama this morning. News Leader 9's Tyrone McCoy was there all morning. He joins us live now from Crawford Baptist Church, where many are seeking shelter. Tyrone, the shelter is actually a Red Cross relief effort, correct?
Yeah, that's right, Cheryl. Now, there definitely have people who have started filing in, and a lot of donations have started filing in. But I'm going to bring in a Red Cross volunteer to tell me a little bit about those efforts for the folks here in Lee and Russell counties. Come on, Mr. Pan, can you join me for a second? So tell me about what you guys are planning to do for the folks that have been affected and the folks who could be a little nervous about the weather that could be coming into this area. So please come on down to Parford Baptist Church if you feel like there's anything that you need or may need. So now, live in Crawford, Alabama, Tyrone McCoy, WTVM News Leader 9. Back to you, Cheryl.
All right, thanks so much, Tyrone. When severe weather hits and you happen to be on the road, we have a few tips to keep you safe. Tune into your radio to stay informed of the weather. Turn your headlights on low beam and slow down. Allow extra distance for braking. If it's raining really hard, pull safely onto the shoulder of the road away from any trees that could fall on your vehicle. Stay in the car and turn on the emergency flashers until the heavy rains subside. Avoid flooded roads and downed power lines. If you see a tornado, never try to outdrive it. Get out of your vehicle and get inside a nearby building. If there's no time to get indoors, get out of the car and lie in a ditch or low-lying area away from the vehicle. For more ways to prepare for severe weather, go to our severe weather tab on WTVM.com. Coming up, coverage you can count on will continue on the news at 5:30. Here are some pictures sent in to us by viewers of damage around the Chattahoochee Valley. You can share yours with us by emailing them to PIX, that's PIX, at WTVM.com. We'll be right back.
In high definition, coverage you can count on. This is WTVM News Leader 9.
A Georgia man ordered to undergo a mental evaluation after allegedly trying to shoot down a patrol helicopter. News Leader 9 was in court as the judge handed down the terms of his bond. We'll tell you what rules he now has to follow.
And in East Alabama, a man wanted on several charges in different states goes before a judge after being tracked down by several law enforcement agencies. We'll show you what happened in court.
Plus, officials tell us what happened on a dark Georgia highway that left a man dead. Find out what clues may have been left behind at the scene. Good Monday evening. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Barbara Gauthier.
And I'm Jason Dennis. Topping our news, after spending the weekend in jail, a Talbot County man is heading home, but with restrictions. James Farmer was back in court this morning. He's accused of trying to shoot down a Georgia State Patrol helicopter last week. News Leader 9's Brittany Dion is following this case for us. She joins us now with new reaction and details on Fryer's bond. Brittany?
Well, Jason, 59-year-old James Fryer is facing a felony charge of destruction of aircraft, which carries a maximum 20 years in prison and fines if he's convicted. Fryer is accused of shooting at a state patrol helicopter as they searched for drugs in Talbot County last week.
They're very happy that he'll continue to get whatever treatment it is that he needs.
In addition to mental health treatments, Fryer must surrender any additional guns he may have, as well as his passport. Now, according to the Muskogee County Jail, Fryer has been released. I spoke with his family, who says he has strong ties to Talbot County and loves his home. Hear what else they had to say coming up on the news at 6. Back to you, Barbara.
All right, Brittany, thank you. Tonight, a Lee County judge has set an extremely high bond for a former fugitive from justice captured Friday after a month on the run. News Leader 9's Elizabeth White was in court today as Heath Holloway made his initial court appearance, facing 11 charges, including assault, theft, eluding, and drug possession. Elizabeth joins us now live from our East Alabama newsroom with the very latest here. Elizabeth?
Well, good afternoon, Barbara. Late this afternoon, Judge Steve Speakman, believing Heath Holloway to be a flight risk and a danger to society, set a $1 million bond in his case, adding that the first $75,000 of that bond needs to be presented in cash. And also, we want to let you know, Sheriff Jones says it was the public and tips from the public that allowed Holloway to be captured. However, he says investigators believe while he was on the lam, several of his acquaintances may have helped him escape police efforts to arrest him. We're going to have much more on that part of the story tonight at 6. Reporting in East Alabama, Elizabeth White, News Leader 9.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Interesting case.
The Georgia State Patrol is investigating after a man is killed overnight in a hit-and-run accident. News Leader 9's Janine Donaldson spoke with officials today about what happened. She brings us the very latest now from Harris County.
I'm here on Interstate 85 outside of the Georgia Welcome Center, standing in the spot where police say a man was struck and killed around 3 o'clock this morning. The man's body has been picked up by the Harris County coroner. Now, Sergeant Rains says it is illegal to walk on the interstate, and we may never know why that man was out here, especially during that time of night. From Harris County, I'm Janine Donaldson for WTVM News Leader 9.
Well, time to talk a little weather on this Monday, and the heat is on. Temperatures back in the low 90s across the valley, 93 in Columbus, Montgomery 92, and 91 in the city of Auburn. We'll be talking a little bit more about your full forecast coming up later in the newscast. Guys?
All right, Derry, thank you. The Muskogee County School Board district set to make a final vote on its budget for next year. News Leader 9's Dante Renzulli joins us live now from the Public Education Center with more on tonight's planned vote. Dante?
Thank you, Barbara. Yeah, we're getting ready for this meeting to get started. At the forefront of the discussion is, of course, the budget for the next fiscal year, and that includes the laid-off teachers that we've been talking about. Now, the last formal figure that they've announced stood at 69. However, the superintendent indicated at the last meeting that that number could be going down. We'll be in the meeting to keep an eye on what's going on and keep you informed. I'm live at the Board of Education building. Dante Renzulli for News Leader 9.
All right, Dante, thank you. Of course, much more coming up tonight on News Leader 9 at 11.
Meantime, East Alabama residents and storm victims, listen up. Today starts the last week to have any storm debris cleaned up in your area. Crews will be making their final rounds through neighborhoods in Salem and Crawford all this week, taking up any debris still left behind after the April 29th tornado. And for those who still need to register for federal aid, you have until July 1st to do that. To contact FEMA, call 1-800-621-3362.
Well, still to come, as militant forces edge closer to other cities, the pressure builds on President Obama and White House leaders. Will we go to the Middle East to help from afar? The details are straight ahead.
And it's hot out there, only going to get hotter. Next up, how to stay safe as you soak in the sun.
And temperatures will be steadily climbing this week, back in the mid-90s here pretty soon. Now, we'll have that full forecast, including a look at the 7-day planner, coming your way right after the commercial break.